We don't need that echoing going on. Happy Friday. Let me put my volume up so I can hear. Welcome in. Let me close my door. Hold on just a second. Welcome in. It's been a couple of weeks since I've seen you. It's been crazy. It's horrible that I still have to work. I want to do the things that I want to do. All right, let me turn y'all around so we can get started here. I don't know why that keeps moving. Let me see how this. Okay. Should have cleared this up a little bit. But let me go ahead and start with this. This is here. It's a Homer Laughlin. I think it's Homer Laughlin. Wait a minute. I got to check. Let me put it up here on my little pedestal so you can see it. All right. So this thing is almost 100 years old. Believe it or not. This was my grandmother's. I also have a large platter. I have some dessert plates. Yes, Homer Laughlin is Virginia Rose. And they have been sitting in a box because I no longer have a display thing for it. And of course, my daughter and granddaughter and her son or anybody, they don't collect anything. But, some people still have these. And they may be missing a few pieces. Other than it just being dirty in here, there is some crazing on it, but you see the bottom of it. Homer Laughlin, Virginia Rose, made in the US of A. So we'll start that. And there may be a couple of flea bites there that was under the lid. You'll see some crazing. But other than that, my grandmother took care of them. She used to have them up in her cabinet. And I got to tell you something. I don't remember her ever using them, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and start that. That's currently running. That's vintage Homer Laughlin. What is that, a soup tureen or I don't know. I don't remember. Hello, Emerald City. Thank you for coming in. All right, we'll set this aside. Let me put this in the box so I won't damage it. And like I said, I do have if anybody's interested, just please reach out to me. I have got the gravy boat as well, the same pattern. And I have a platter that matches. I'll get it all up there eventually. I just don't want it to sit in a box anymore. I'd rather somebody that could use it or has a set that they need to finish completing, they can go ahead and do that. Let me move this to stage. This is vintage enamelware, which I thought was very unique. Let me fix that. Okay. It's the Butterfly brand. It has it there, Butterfly brand, 20 quart, or it says 20 cm, made in China. There is enamel damage. I think that's what gives it more character to you, if you will. I wouldn't use it to serve anything in it. I'd just use it more for decoration. It has beautiful colors. We'll go ahead and start the auction for that, and that's currently running. So how has everybody been? I think the last time I was on was when we were celebrating Vamp's 2-year. I think it was either last weekend or the weekend before. All right, thank you for looking at that. Let me put that down there. Let's do, I'm trying to get through stuff that I have here at the table with me before we move up and we look at some other things that I have there. What? Oh, I'm looking for this. This is a new one too. This here is a, did that not move? Okay, there it goes. It's starting to lightning and thunder here. I don't know if I'm going to, that just moves slowly. So this here is a, look, you can see my ceiling. This here is an International Silver Company. Here's the label. I didn't clean it, of course. It said silver plated from Hong Kong. And this is actually, I hadn't seen when they had the actual mural on it. Hi. I've only seen like the platter itself, but I thought that was neat. We'll go ahead and start the auction for that, and that's currently running. Welcome in. Thank you for joining. This here is 10.5 inch in diameter. With fingerprints and all. Thank you for looking at that. Let's see. What else do I have up here? Let's do, I like how when I load things, they just go in different orders. You don't know where. Okay, this here is, I'm thinking this is 80s and 90s. I remember seeing these with my mother going to J.C. Penney's or to Sears. This was the Roman brand. Like I want to say I got something like this, but it had the black stone that I used for my prom actually in 82. But this here is your upscale set. You see how it ran for $30 back in the day. But you have your pearls. They are knotted pearls, so it's a nicer set with the, are these pierced? Oh, no, these are clipped earrings. But they had those different clips. They're not those ones that kill your earlobes. We'll go ahead and start that, and that is currently running. Oh, thanks, Hope, for your bid on that. You know, for the longest time, I didn't know there was a key that you could use to loosen up the clip earrings. Thank you, and that is coming home to you, Hope. I'm glad that's going somewhere. Let's see. What else is up here? Let me do. I just had these. Where did they go? Oh, here they are. Look at these. These are, this just came from an auction that I got. I hadn't even shown them to anybody yet. But they are vintage 1950s nylon women's gloves. Look at the tops of them with the ruffles. We'll go ahead and start the auction for those, and those are currently running. Thank you, Hope. I appreciate you. These are currently running for anybody that needs some 1950s nylon ladies gloves. My daughter was laughing because she says, those reminds me of the ones that Grandma made you wear for Easter. Yeah. I don't think mine came up that, and they weren't nylon. They were cloth or something. Yeah, but I had the gloves. I had the socks with the lace on them. All right, so who remembers? What did I just draw? Oh, that was a penny. Who remembers the eel skin purses? This is just like the clutch one. It's the smaller one. It's 7 by 11, but it does have this strap with it. And it's really clean in the inside. And this one here is made in Korea. I didn't know they were made in Korea. But it says Carlo Amboldi. Just funny, you got an Italian name. But it's made in Korea. Genuine eel skin. So let's go ahead and run that. And it's in real good condition. I remember when those were the craze. Um, they had them in different colors too. Remember, I mean, the burgundies was a color that they were dyeing those. But this one's more of the natural colors for that. Um, let's see. Why don't we do? Let's see. I still love these. I actually lowered the prices on these. This here is your Quran Elie Mouguet Eau Toilette. That's my French. Perfume canister. And they're the reusable ones. So here's the top that will go for the sprayer. This here screws off. Doesn't screw off. It just pops off. I don't have strength in my hands today to take it off. But it goes on and you pull it off so you put a bottle in there. Let me keep this in here so I won't lose it. But that's a pretty decoration thing for your vanity. We'll go ahead and start that. And that is currently running. That's that Hollywood Regent motif from back in the day. All right, thank you for looking at that. I gotta go with the canister again. I love these. My bathroom was large enough. I'd keep them. This here is those vintage. This is more of an antique brass. Look at the finial up there. Ornate. This was like $33 back in the day, but they would cover their hairspray cans or their shampoo bottles if they didn't want them to show. I thought, wow, that's fancy. Thank you for looking at that one. I feel like some of these I'm actually showing that we're actually doing like a museum or touring a museum at some of these things because the history behind them. And just let me show you this silver one too. This is so I can get done with these, but I show them a lot because I love them. This is a silver tone one. That's metal filigree. It's got the finial there on top. I don't know what else you could. I just thought of, you can hang earrings on this. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to start the auction on that. And if nobody uses it, now it's going to be display my earrings. But I love how they had them to cover their Aquanet bottles and their shampoo bottles. Okay, I'm putting this here. It's going there. Let's look at this. Vintage Victorian pill bottle. Call those the sisters. It still has the plastic thing inside. The name, they had the address, and then because they didn't have email back then, and the phone number. That's the back of it. That's just something I hadn't cleaned it off. Let's go and run that. That is currently running. For anybody that wants to have a vintage pill box. All right. Thanks for looking at that. Let me do this one so I can get this up out of the way. This is a pretty. It's carnival. It's like an oblong bowl. You see the carnival color to it, but the bottom, it has Yalos Casa Murano. That's the city in Italy. But this here, this is the 20th century. They said these are from. We'll start the auction for that, and that's currently running. That would make a pretty centerpiece bowl. It's 7 inches wide. Welcome in. Thank you for joining. By 12 inches in length, and then 5 inches tall on that one. And that is Yallo's Casa Murano, not the Murano company. This is from Murano, Italy, is where this company is from. And they had that Yallo's Casa Murano. And that's there. Let me put this down here. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. Let's look at, let me look at these. This is, I was shocked to see these magazines. And I was just telling my daughter, I said, you see what people keep their magazines? Because I was known for always keeping my Better Home and Gardens magazine, my People's magazines, and those are all collectibles now. This one is from, I want to say it's 36. Let me see. Yeah, September 1936, silver screen. So I guess this was like the original Hollywood magazine. This, of course, is Betty Davis. And whoever had these, they're really in great condition. She kept them all in individual bags. Let me move that up. But for it being as old as it is, it's almost 90 years old, these magazines. Carol Lombard and William Powell. I don't even know who that is. William Powell. I know I've heard of Carol Lombard. John Comrell. I don't know any of those. Are from Warner. Is that that they said is Dick Powell in that picture? Jack Oakley. June Travis, Jean Raymond. Yeah, these are little, because these were when my mom was born. Well, let's go ahead and run that and see if we got any interest in this. And look how even back then, in 36, the women smoking on the cover. This was made by Liggett and Myers Tobacco Company. Never heard of them. That's thank you for looking at that with me. Let me put this back in the bag. Let's see what I did with it. I'll put it back in a second there. This here are some these are Women Days. Look at these 1940s, February 1940, 2 cents. 2 cents for that. A national magazine read by 1.2 million women. Let me bring this one up. Move that to stage. This here, it's just funny to see how SOS scouring pads, look how long they've been around. Wesson Oil, look how that started. These are very interesting. I probably should have read them before. Look, White House milk. I've never heard of that. All right, let's go ahead and run this one. This one's currently running. Women's Day, February 1940. A few more seconds on that. And then we'll go look at something else. Oh, I do have some crafts, some crocheting books that I'll show you to see if you're interested in. Those I have, I think I'm doing 5 of them. Let's see. Oh, that's another Women's Day there. These were let me see. They were the crafts ones. They showed you how to crochet. And I do remember seeing these that my grandmother would get. She used to crochet. Of course, I didn't learn. I could kick myself now. Oh, here they are. It's Coats and Clarks. Let me get those. Oh, here's them. So this is the set of 5. They're instructional books. They're all individually wrapped. Cloaks and Clarks. Look, 10 cents is what these called. Quick crocheted. It would show you how to do. Oh, this one's a little ripped here. The other ones weren't. But it gave you, look how good these are. November 1953 is what this one is. But it gives you instructions for doing hats, handbags. Okay, so this is where my grandmother got her stuff from. She used to make, well, this goes into sweaters and purses. She used to make the little thing that went over the toilet paper that you hid and you put it on top of the tank. She used to make those and then add flowers to them. She used to make the, so you have these. So there's a set of 5 of these all Cloaks and Clarks. This is here is a babies and children edition. On that, that's not Cloaks and Clarks. Let's see. That one either. Is this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, here they are. So we'll run these. And this one here is for the set of 5. It's currently running to knit and crochet for all that time y'all have. All right, thank you for looking at those. Let me show you these. I'm doing these as 5. And I have 2 sets of these. So it'll be 2 sets of 5. These here are embroidered fabric pouches or sachets or whatever you call them. They're new in the package still, and they're Velcroed. But there's a set of 5, and they're 5.5 by 6.5. So I have 5 of them here. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yes, I have 5 that will run. Or anybody wants to use those for postcards, or you can put jewelry in them. I don't know what else you could use them for. I thought those were cute with them being embroidered. I did used to do that. I used to embroidery like pillowcases, his and her pillowcases and stuff like that. All right, let's see what else I have here. At the table to show you. Let's do some hankies. I was doing them in lots, but then nobody wanted all of them. So I just started doing them, choice. You can pick one. So we have this purple one that has the white ribbing cording at the end. So we have that one. We have this one. This is a nice size. And these has like the edges that are pretty on those. So we'll put that one there. I like the colors in this one too. You got red and yellow. I should have done that the other way. So this is a nice size. And those edges are done as well. We'll do that, and then we'll do one more. We'll do this here. It's yellow, light yellow, with teal colors on this one. And we'll run that one too. We'll do one more. We'll do 5. Oh, look, this is a neat one. Got to be careful with these because these are older. So you got it just started pouring here. So this is a pretty one. It's got, look how the edges are on that. So we'll go ahead and start the auction for that. $3. Pick one of these 5 that are up here. And that's currently running. Okay. Let's do one more time for these that are here. This here is a needlepoint one. That's pretty. A needlepoint one there. This one's red and white. I don't see these colors often. Oh, and it's a heart shape. Oh, look. I remember hankies used to be very popular. Oh, this one that has a butterfly embroidered on it. Okay, we'll put that there so we can see that. This one is a, what does this say? Best wishes. Oh, this must be like a wedding handkerchief or something. Best wishes, or that's pretty. I hadn't seen that on there. Let's do this one too. This is yellow and orange. And that's in good condition too. Okay, let's go ahead and do those. We'll redo that. That's currently running for pick one for any of those that are there. And then we'll move on to something else. Those there. All right, thank you for looking at those. Get these out of the way. Let me show. I don't know if I have. Let's see if I can move this to stage. I want to edit this one. This here is new item. Okay, we will do this at $3 for this. I'm going to do, these are these little toys. Look at these things. Let me put them down because I can't even hold them. They're little ninjas. Let me take a picture of that. Okay. $3. Okay. Did that go? It's starting to get windy out there. Let's see. Did that not save? Let's see. All right. Why didn't that save? Let me see. Now, where did it go? It's like it's taking time to come over. All right, let me run something else for a minute. Look at this old photo album. It's in great condition. I mean, yeah, the material's faded and stuff. There's no closure buckle here. But when you look at, there's 17 antique photos in here too. And these are on cardstock. So there is some damage to some of them, but I mean, for the age of this is, you know, a a little over 100 years old. So you have pictures from Colorado in here. Probably should run the pictures by themselves, probably, but look at these old pictures. There was a card in here that was showing the age. Look at this card. It was to go to Entertainment State Sunday School Convention that was being held in Boulder, Colorado, June 1922. So that would mean this thing, or that thing actually, is, 103 years old. We'll start the auction for that for anybody that's interested in this, that's currently running. Hi, Bug. How you doing? Thank you for coming in. Showing this old antique photo album. It's crazy how old it is. All right. Thank you for looking at this. Yes, I know. Instant Ancestors. I've never shown stuff like that. I've got my own pictures like that I still have. But I feel bad when I go somewhere and I see them, especially at Goodwill and stuff, when you see them there. My daughter better not ever drop my pictures off at Goodwill. Are you listening, Dominique? Just in case my daughter's on. It's worse than when they, when you go there and you see all this china and all that kind of stuff and crystals. Let's do this ring. This is an Amy Conn Russell. Beautiful bronze oval Amazonite gemstone. You got the cloisonne there around the edges. Oh, I forgot. I was going to show you the side. Yeah, this is a 7 on there. Yeah, a 7. We'll start the auction for that, and that is currently running. And you see it's there. Is that, I can't see, is that her name now? Why does it do that? Made in, where does that say? And now I have to get my eyeglass thing. A few more seconds on that. This here. Oh, it's AKR. I forgot that's how she signed her stuff. There was something else on there I wanted to see, and of course I can't see it. All right, I'll put this one back here. I also have this one. This here is a Heidi Daus. You got your purple. You see your purple cabochon stone there. You got your pearls. It's your dome dinner ring, size 7 as well on this one. It's there. And this one's by Heidi Daus. Where is it? Yeah. There she is there, Heidi. And that is currently running. It has all the stones that are in there, the citrines, I forgot what the green one were. You have the champagne pearl ones. And then the purple one is beautiful. All right, thank you for looking at that. Let's see. Oh, there it was. Now it popped up. That took a long time. Let me see. What was this doing? Yeah, these were the little ninja guys. So you have this one. And you have a yellow one with the nunchucks. Then you have another one in black. And then you have a green one. So we'll start those. I got those running for $3. Anybody's interested in those? Those are vintage toys. All right, thank you for looking at those. I'll set those aside. Let's see, I got a pre-bid. Oh, let me go get these birds and I'll run the pre-bid. These are beautiful. Leo Ward. They're signed Bluebirds of Happiness. That's the stage. So here you got the mama bird. And here at the bottom is signed Leo Ward, 1993. And then here is the little baby bird. So we'll start the auction on that, and that is currently running. And Hope is winning that. Thank you, Hope. That's coming to you. I love those blues. Let's see, I like those blues during the summer and the springtime. They look nice. Put those there. All right, let's see what else we have. If you see anything in the Buy It Now store, please feel free to make any offers on that. This here is a Victorian fairy. Set that back. With curly hair. She even has eyelashes. She's got her little fairy shoes on there. She's dressed like a ballerina. They have it here. I guess you can hang her up there. Go ahead and start the auction for that. And that is currently running. I didn't know if she was coming from like one of those movies. I can't even remember the names. I never read the 25 books that went with it too. All right. Thank you for looking at that. Let's run this. This here is a beautiful. I can't believe I'm giving up any of my amber. I love amber. This here is your Imperial Open Rose Marigold Carnival plate. And you got the ruffle edge on that. We'll go ahead and start the auction for that. And that is currently running. I love how the colors are on that. All right, thank you for looking at that one. Let's see what else. I've got this one here too. And then we're going to get up and go look at the shelves there. This here is another marigold. This is the Wild Rose one. Scalloped edge. This is 9-inch in diameter. It does have the pedestal feet here. And the Wild Rose just has like a more open rose pattern on that. And we'll run that. And that is currently running. All right, thank you for looking at that one. Put that up here. All right. Let's see what we have. All right, let me go ahead and move you over. I don't want to get y'all dizzy. All right, here. Let me put y'all up here. And then I'll put this down. I think this is in my buy it now. Or did I move it back to my auction? Let me see. No, that one's in my buy it now. If anybody's interested in that. Oh no, it's right here. It is an auction. Let me go ahead and run that. That's hand painted artwork. It's 11.5 by 14. And that is currently running. It says an egg a day the hen must lay to keep the stew pots far away. It's got the hen, the egg, the strawberries. Okay. I'll go ahead and turn y'all around now and we'll see what else here we'll have to show. Let me see. Let me do this. This here is 1998 Campbell Soup Bowl. Look at that. Who remembers having tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches? Was my favorite. We'll go ahead and start the auction for that for $3, and that is currently running. A few more seconds remaining on that. All right. Thank you for looking at that. Let's see. These here are Victorian salt and pepper shakers. They're porcelain. And you got the egg with the purple flowers, and then you have this one with the blue. I think those are irises on there. This screws off, and then you have the stopper there. Let's go ahead and start the auction for that. This Victorian salt and pepper shakers. Got the gold gilding on the feet there, and then around here as well. I like how they're mismatched for those. Thank you for looking at that. All right, let me show y'all this. I don't even think I have this listed. But if anybody wants this, I can run this for y'all for $15. Look at that red glass pitcher. Is that those looks like they're all different. That looks like it's the light from the torch from the Olympics. Then you have like a presidential seal. So if anybody wants me to run that, I have actually matching red glasses to go with that. Look at these. I have 6 of these. The red ones. I currently have these listed on that other East site thing. But if anybody wants the red glasses or the picture, let me know and I'll cancel those out and bring them over. Let's see what else we have here to show. Let me bring this to stage. And I'm going to turn y'all around to show y'all that. This here is a Varian golden porcelain coffee teapot. And then you have your sugar and your creamer. The set's all there. That's the bottom of it. And it's in great condition. We'll start the auction for that, and that's currently running for that set. Surprised my internet hasn't cut off yet with the storm going on. All right, thank you for looking at that. I will turn you guys back around. Let's see what else I have here to show you. Where is that? I'm losing my stuff. Let's see. This here, I got Trying to reorganize my stuff, so pardon. This here I love. This here is, it looks like it's a picture frame, but it's an antique wooden, a hidden jewelry box. The sides, that's the back. We'll go ahead and start that, and that is currently running. That lady is Madame Lamballe. I don't know who she is. A few more seconds on that. All right, thank you for looking at that. Here. Oops. All right, let's see. Let me do, I got to show this again. This is from 1987. It's Charlie. It's Charlie from Starkiss Tuna. It's a telephone that works. I tested it. His eyes flash red when it's ringing. We'll start the auction for that, and it has the original cord. But I tested it on my modem, and I was shocked. I was shocked that it was working. I thought that was funny. From 1987. I thought that's amazing that it still had the cords and it was still work. Let's move this to stage. This here is a ceramic rooster. Could be a planter or utensils holder. 9.5 inches tall by 8 inches wide. You have like a darker teal color. The flowers are in red, orange, and yellow. It's in great condition. We'll start the auction for that, and that's currently running. That's the bottom. You can put succulents in it. You can put your kitchen utensils in it. All right, thank you for looking at that. Let's see. Where are these? These here are Fitz and Floyd pink tulip candlestick holders. You do have the pair. You have one that has a little flea bite here on that leaf, but all the other ones are fine. We'll go ahead and start the auction for those, and those are currently running. They're 3 inches tall, made in Japan. They are vintage Fitz and Floyd, and they have the FF at the bottom. All right, thank you for looking at those. Oh, okay. What am I missing? Let me show you this. This here, let me turn y'all around. I have this one hanging up. This is a beautiful artwork piece, and it's signed Burns. It's 12 by 15. We'll start the auction for that, and that's currently running. I love the pinks and the bluish grays in there too. You can see that's a signature there, and the colors in that. A few more seconds on that one. All right, thank you for looking at that. Bring y'all back over here. Let me see what else we got here. Let me move that to stage. Turn y'all around. Here's the little 1950s porcelain shoe. We'll go ahead and start the auction for that. It's 4.5 inches in length. flowers are on pink with the red polka dotted bow. Right, thank you for looking at that. Let's see. Let's do this. This here is your vintage carnival relish dish or candy dish in the 3 clover shape. We'll start the auction for that, and that is currently running. All right, thank you for that. Move that to stage. This here is your Fenton Hobnob shoe with the cat. There's a cat face on there. Cat hidden paws figurine. We'll start the auction for that, and that's currently running. Few more seconds. All right, thank you for looking at that. Let's do this. This here is a purple hand-blown vase, bud vase, with the elephant clawfoot or elephant foot, 10 inches tall. It's in the purple. We'll go ahead and start the auction for that, and that's currently running. You see the purple color there with the elephant foot bottom. All right. Let's see, where is that? I gotta, oh, that's not that one. I got confused with that one. Where is the other one at? Oh, let's move this to stage. Let's do, this here is your crystal diamond cut double candlestick holder. Start the auction for that, and that is currently running. All right. Thanks for that. Let's see. This here is an antique perfume bottle, hand painted. It is missing the bulb thing, but it does have the tubing and the inner works for your perfume. We'll go ahead and start that for only $8. Welcome in. Thank you for joining. We're just very happy it's Friday. All right, thanks for looking at that. Let's see. Let me do that. This is a creamer, and this is made in Japan. Could be a creamer or syrup. It's a little bit larger. You got the blue and the orange flowers, hand painted, made in Japan, and that is currently running. A few more seconds remaining on that. All right, thanks for looking at that. Let's do, here this is. This here, it's a vintage Japanese trinket dish or lemon wedges or butter dish. You can use it for several things. You got little birds on it. flowers and pink and light green and orange. Here's the back of it. We'll start the auction for that, and that's currently running for $5. It says spring. That's how the bottom of it is. All right, thanks for looking at that. This here's our Murano bud vase. It says Murano glass, handmade, fatto a mano, means handmade. 83 is the number on that, but I love how the blues are on that. Go ahead and start the auction for that. That's currently running. It's 5.5 inches tall. Little Art Deco design. Wavy motion there. That's the label on this one. All right. Let's see. Let me do this. This is your Fenton Rose Bow. The opaque color with your hand painted scenery on it. And it's signed here, hand painted. Who this is? Diana Fitzpatrick or Frederickson. It's hand painted. All right. Let's see. This here is another. You got your Monticello basket in that blue color, 7 by 6.5. Your Indiana art glass. We'll start that. That's currently running. It's the bottom. A few more seconds. All right. Put this back. Let me see. What else? Let me run this. This here is a laser etched paperweight. You got your seals, bouncing the ball on top. Let's go ahead and run that. I will clean it before sending it to you. It's got my fingerprints on it. All right, let me see what else can run before we close up for tonight. Let's do these. All right, where did they go? I thought I just saw them. I thought I just saw them. Nope, we'll have to run something else. That from stage. Let's do. This here is Westmoreland milk glass. This actually glows. You got your paneled sides, 6.5 inches tall with the great motif on there. And it's on a pedestal. We'll start the auction for that. There is a W here at the bottom. A few more seconds on that. All right. Thank you for looking at that one. Let's let me go ahead and show these. These here will be the last two items I show. These are the exactly handcrafted painted bisque bluebird. 2.5 inches tall. We'll start the auction on that, and that is currently running for this one. See, the bottom has the felt. All right, let's run we'll run the brown one. That's currently running. Here's a brown one. And those are hand painted. You got the felt at the bottom. There you go. All right, thanks for looking at those. Let's see. Let me go ahead and do this. This here will be my last item for the evening. Here's a little blue hand blown picture. You can use this as a base. It's a poncho at the bottom, 6 inches tall. And that is currently running. A few more seconds on that. All right, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I will be jumping on again during the middle of the week next week. So I hope you'll come. I have a lot more stuff to load up for you guys to take a look at. So I will be seeing you probably Wednesday or Thursday next week. But thank you again for joining and the purchases that were made. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.